Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Coca and Jose with their movie Space Face. Let's take a look at a clip.
I'm a disco hater. I'm a monster papa looking for you. I'm the forest stranger. I want to rock and roll all day with you. Shut your mouth, trap.
It's awesome to have you here in the studio. Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Space Face is a Sasquatch from outer space, and he is kind of like a rebel, and you know, he knows that he's into music, but he's not really there yet. And this emerging rock star, we call him Davy Bowie.
Davy Bowie.
You know, his tour bus breaks down, and they have this chance meeting in the woods. And Space Face is like, that I want to be a rock god. That's what I want to do. And then David Bowie's kind of like, oh, this guy's far out. And he sees the little lightning bolt, and so he, you know, emulates him. He goes on to, you know, the rest is history. We all know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so Space Face just like wants to go out and find him, and so he's like goes out into the world to find Davy Bowie and to rock. And he meets these two other characters that become like his crew. This bird, Seward, who's kind of like William Burroughs, and then this forest fusion cooking badger named Humphrey, and they end up working at this like broken down theme park called Bigfootville for this guy Louis, who's like kind of a con artist, like ex-carny, and it's basically hijinks that happen to them at this place, but Space Face is always trying to get out and find his, you know, bromance, and it's just hilarity.
I mean, for a short film, it's very hard. You got to really sort of capture everything so quickly. But I really fell in love with the characters. I just felt like it was just really amazing, and the incredible vision that you had to create the film. Where was your inspiration for creating this film?
I would say the inspiration was for me when Coca came up with the idea originally. She kind of dropped it on my lap, and I decided to kind of develop something around her idea. So I wanted to, you know, bring back some of the things that I enjoyed, which was music, cryptozoology, and my love of animation. So I was like, okay, I think I have something here with what she told me. So I kind of ran with it, and then I think when she came home later that evening, I had, you know, created all these concepts and stuff, and she was like, this is it, let's do this.
That's amazing.
Because I was just messing around, I'm weird, and I have weird thoughts, and I was like, what if there was this Sasquatch that talked like David Bowie, or what if he was obsessed with David Bowie, because I am, and Sasquatch, because who doesn't love both those things in life? So then I just kind of was like, I just put it out there. Yeah. And he was the one who had the vision to say, no, that's good. That's something. That was like the aha That's going to be like, that could be a weekly thing. Like, that's good. And then he developed it, and it's beautiful.
No, it really is beautiful. And it's also beautiful because not only are you fantastic at working together professionally, you're also together, which is amazing. How has it taken on both of those roles?
I think it can be a roller coaster, because when we're in production, you know, we kind of have to separate the two different lives. Mm-hmm. But I think between Coca and I think that we've worked together. We also write together. We just finished our first novel, which is The Narcissist and the Nightingale.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Amazon. That's fantastic.
On Kindle. So when we went through that whole creative process, I think we were doing Space Face in between that. Yeah. So it really got us to a point where we were able to really come together, and it was more like a cohesive. It was kind of like a symbiotic creative relationship, I would say, right?
Oh, it's just I think it's amazing to hear that. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Because he's like my best friend, and then he knows stuff about me, so he knows how to work with me, or he knows just by my face if I don't like something, or I do like something, or, you know, he'll work on something, and I'll come in and I'll be like, he's like, oh, forget it, I know. You know?
Yeah, those days where I'm working like 10 hours on a concept, She comes in the door, she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, breathe.
He's like,
10,
forget
9,
it. I know.
8,
I can
7,
already
6.
tell before you come in here, you're not gonna like it.
What was kind of your biggest challenge making this film though?
The biggest challenge was basically working with an animator from New York, trying to convey that that artistic vision and, you know, the concept and everything via like email and phone calls. You know, there's only so much you can do with the computer and with the phone, and it's different. It was a different process for us because we kind of thrive off that energy when we're working with other creatives.
Of course, yeah.
You kind of just sit there and you know, you iron out the kinks and you perfect the product. And then working with Ben was great, and I think we had that kind of that relationship to begin with because he was such an amazing artist. He's such an amazing artist, Ben Silverstein. And then, you know, just after a while, I think it took us like a good month to kind of really get, you know, into the relationship with him. But once we got everything kind of communicated, it just kind of went smoothly from there. We kind of gave him our vision.
After we learned that instead of being able to have him in the same room and be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking about, and like doing a weird, I'm a horrible sketcher, drawer, and everything, but I actually tried to draw an ape and it turned out looking like a Sasquatch. That's how it became a Sasquatch.
That's great.
But he's like, that looks like a Sasquatch. And I was like, but once we figured out, it was more about like sending just like, you know, thought boards to him, and this is what we're thinking about, and here's an example of this, and just kind of flooding him with concepts, so it was easier to get our point across because we couldn't really, you know, and sometimes I couldn't talk to him on the phone because I'd be gone, and then he'd have to wait for me, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning there, you know,
all the
and
time.
it was crazy, yeah. So it was easier to just get that flow, but once we did, it worked out really well.
He is. I mean, these were hand drawn, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a. I mean, sadly, it's a rarity these days that you find that incredible talent like that.
Yeah, and we were so happy that when I reached out to him, he was like, he liked the concept and everything. We actually worked on a couple of other projects with him as well. Yeah, he illustrated one of our graphic novel for the novel. And then we just fell in love with him, and like, Ben, you're coming with us wherever we go. Every other project, like, you're gonna be in, you know, part of it in some kind of aspect or another. And we came out with a great friend. I think at the end of the 8 months.
And it was weird too because we worked with him for like 6 or 7 months before I even knew what he looked like.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I saw what he looked like, and I was like, that's not what I expected.
Yeah, right? You kind of have that.
You get like a picture in your head, and then he's like, that's opposite.
So you guys, I mean, incredibly, you guys, you're authors and, you know, write screenplays and animators and directors. What's kind of next for you guys?
Well, we have a feature film that we're trying to get into development. It's called Razorback. It's about a boy finding his mother. He kind of runs away from the circus from an unforeseeable circumstance, and he's kind of thrust upon into you know, the land and stuff, trying to, you know, seek out and search new friends and adventures and stuff till he gets to his mother. And that takes place in the 1930s. It's a period film.
Oh,
it's
wow.
very expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just have to try to, you know, get to that higher level.
A full circus and.
Yeah,
wow.
We're building like a full circus, and then I think we have 3 locations in Georgia and then in upstate New York.
Wow.
So we have it all planned out. We're just trying to get the financing for it and get that out.
Well, you guys work amazingly together, and, you know, kind of what's it like, because you guys put a lot of hard work into this. What's it like to have your film officially selected for New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
I think it encapsulated all our hard work that we put into it over the last 8 months.
Yeah.
It was just kind of nice to have somebody, some of our peers in the industry, look at the material and say, wow, we really want to showcase your stuff at our film festival. And for us, that was, I think, the greatest compliment anybody could ever give us. We
really are excited to see more of your work as well. So thank you for being together, and thank you for making the film together, because it was fantastic with Space Face, and we look forward to seeing more of both of your work. So thank you.
We'll keep trying.
Keep trying, absolutely, thank you.